Hello Villa fans and welcome back to Heart of the Holte, obviously your favourite Aston Villa YouTube channel. And we're back today with another one of these 5-minute previews where we run you through the 5 things that Villa need to do to beat their upcoming opponents in, yep you guessed it, around about 5 minutes. This week we're going to be talking Everton. Villa take the trip up to Merseyside on Saturday night to face off with Everton in what is a pretty important game for the Toffees as they continue their pursuit of European football. Villa, however, were in a bit of a slump, but Everton do struggle at home. If you rank the Premier League in terms of just points awarded at home, Everton would sit 15th, and we know all about home struggles this season. So let's see what we can do to make the most of it. Here we go, guys. 5 things that Villa need to do to beat Everton in 5 minutes. Let's get it. So the first thing to be wary of, and it's an obvious one, it's the tactical prowess of Carlo Ancelotti. But what this does mean for Villa is that Everton are very comfortable in chopping and changing formations. They started March off by using a 4-3-1-2, which they then went away from before going with a 4-4-2 diamond in a home defeat to Burnley. It's fair to say that they didn't stick with that very long because they then switched to a 3-5-2 or a 5-3-2 in varying games against Crystal Palace and Brighton, which they got 2 draws from. Not feeling too satisfied from that, they then went to a flat 4-4-2 against Spurs, a game in which they again drew, before they switched to a 4-2-3-1 in a 1-0 away win at Arsenal. So it does seem like Everton will start with that 4-2-3-1 against Arsenal. It won them the game at the Emirates, so I don't see why they would switch away from it. But it's something that Villa needs to be wary of, because Everton clearly do have the capabilities to switch formation before and during the game. Now, one of the reasons for that constant chopping and changing of formations is because of Everton's prowess in midfield. I love the players that they have in this position. If you look at the likes of Alan, Abdoulaye Doucouré, Andre Gomez, James Rodriguez, Gylfi Sigurdsson, even through to players like Fabian Delph and Tom Davies, there's such a wealth of physical and technical talent in that position that it means it's quite difficult for Everton to nail down a consistent 3, and that's going to be a problem point for Villa because in my opinion it's the midfield where Villa have been lacking in recent games. We struggle to assert our dominance on a game, and I think against especially physical midfields we do tend to struggle. It was why the game became so transitional against West Brom, and in my opinion it's why we failed after the 20th second to lay a glove on Manchester City. This needs to be something that Villa need to be wary of, and we have to strengthen physically in that position if we are going to stand a chance against one of the Premier League's most underrated midfields. Now the next point is something that we definitely have to rock with on this show because Dan and I are the founding members of the Keenan Davis Appreciation Society, and I think we were, after those 50-something Premier League games without a goal, I think we were the last members of that particular club, to be honest, but he finally got his moment in that 2-2 draw with Baggies, and what a moment it was. But what it means is that he's almost certainly in contention to start against Everton, and I think that's a good thing because he suits Villa's lack of creativity. Just look at the goal that he went and scored. He fashioned the chance out of nothing. Ollie Watkins is a player that thrives in and around the penalty area, and I love him for that. He's absolutely deadly within the 18-yard box. But what that means, the problem is for Villa, is that without Jack Grealish, when we struggle to create the chances, fashioning quality chances for Ollie in and around the box has proven quite difficult. It's why he went on that barren run of 8 or 9 games without a goal. Keenan Davis, however, will chase lost causes, he'll run the channels, he'll take long balls to head and to chest and forge chances out of very little. That's a very useful trait for Villa to have in this side when we struggle to create the chances that we do normally when we've got the skipper in the side. So hopefully we see Keenan in contention against Everton because let's face it, he deserves it more than most. Now, Villa fans will be very pleased to hear that after serving his 1-game suspension after his 2 yellow cards against Manchester City, Matty Cash is ready and available for selection for this game against Everton. But he does come up against a particularly tricky left wing in Luca Digne and Richarlison. But Villa fans will be pleased to hear that it's actually been Gylfi Sigurdsson that's been starting on the left wing for Everton in recent weeks, as Richarlison has been playing on the right hand side. And while Sigurdsson still possesses a fair amount of quality in his own right, he doesn't have the pace and power in running that Richarlison does. But regardless, whoever starts in that left wing spot, we can't leave Matty Cash left to fend for himself in 2v1 situations with Luca Digne on the overlap and Sigurdsson or Richarlison cutting in on the inside, as it's just too much to deal with, and he has shown defensive frailties in that right at certain points this season. Now next up is Everton's goalkeeping situation. Their unit of Robert Olsen and Jordan Pickford, I've excluded João Virginia for this because I think he's only played once in the Premier League, but Robert Olsen and Jordan Pickford have a save percentage of 70% and 71% respectively. And now whilst that ranks fairly averagely, perhaps just below average in the Premier League this season, it is Jordan Pickford's rank of second in the Premier League this season in errors leading to goals that Villa need to pounce on. Erratic goalkeeping, that style that he has of fumbling crosses and dropping shots, means that Villa, if they do manage to work Watkins and Davis onto the pitch at the same time, need to be running in, chasing every shot that Villa put in at the Everton goalkeeper, because you never know when he's going to drop a clanger and present a chance to an opposition forward. As I was saying in the last point, Villa do struggle to create chances. Goals have been somewhat hard to come by in recent games, and what better way to get one than capitalising on an error from the opposition goalkeeper? It's really a gimme, and it's something that Villa definitely have to be keeping an eye on. And there you have it, Villa fans. In more or less 5 minutes, the 5 things that Villa need to do in order to beat Everton on Saturday night. Thank you very much for watching this video. We really appreciate it. We appreciate those of you that have stuck with this channel despite Villa's form dwindling in recent months. You are the real MVPs. You are doing the most as we close out this season and get ready for a really fun summer of content, hopefully surrounding the Euros once we can get out and about, and eventually I can be sat right here with Dan in person. It's been so long since we've been able to do that, and I'm really excited. So if you're new to the channel, there's never been a better chance and a better time to get subscribed. There's going to be so much fun stuff happening right here in the months to come, so you definitely want to be a part of it. So hit that button down below. It's free and it helps us out. We'll see you back on Saturday night after what is hopefully a long awaited Villa away win. Up the Villa.